Tito Jackson, one of the brothers who made up the beloved pop group the Jackson 5, has died.
And many of you will know this voice. Tito was the third of 9 Jackson children, which includes global superstars Michael and sister Janet, of course, part of a music-making family whose songs are beloved today. The Jackson 5 includes brothers Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and Michael. The family group, which was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997, produced several #1 hits in the 1970s, including ABC, I Want You Back, and I'll Be There. Tito was 70 years old.